My name is Stephen Shelley. I'm the artistic director and founder of the Beat Festival. And tonight we're preparing for our big event for the 2015 festival, a program called Ocaso, a performance adventure. Ocaso in Spanish, if you look at it, it looks kind of like the word occasion, or it hints at that. But the meaning of it is sunset, so you have kind of the inclusion of the neighborhood. What interests me about this performance is that we have essentially created something that reflects Sunset Park back to itself at this moment in time. So I wanted 3 different acts. We do theater, dance, and voice as a kind of our mission within the Beat Festival. So I sought out 3 different groups that could each bring one of those elements to the program. Chinese Theater Works was my immediate ask because I know they present traditional Chinese performance forms at maybe the highest level in the city. Dira Rausch is a young artist I've followed for a long time. She's part of this kind of young artistic community that's found its way into Sunset Park, producing really interesting contemporary work. She also works at the Industry City Distillery, so she has a certain connection to this community too that way. And then salsa dance is maybe the most popular dance form amongst the Latin American community, and we wanted to have that involved as well, and that led me to identify Aurelis Beato and the Brooklyn's Finest Dance Company. And I noticed right away watching their video and visiting their studio that their work is very crisp and sharp, very defined, and that was what led me to invite them to be a part of this program. So I'm very excited. I think these 3 very different types of acts will work within this structure very well. Ultimately, we'll see. There's no way to predict it. That's why we do these things.
Hello, my name is Stephen Kaplan. I'm co-artistic director of Chinese Theater Works. Together with my wife and other co-director, Kwang Yu Fong, we feel it's appropriate. It's appropriate to present this stuff not just to Chinese audiences, but to American audiences as well. I got out of Brooklyn just when it was like hitting the tipping point in terms of its coolness. The transformation has happened so fast. It's went from being an industrial landscape taken over by artists to the highest priced real estate in the entire city in a matter of years. So that's been kind of interesting to watch. I suppose I feel like Brooklyn embodies a lot of the essential New York spirit, and that includes this incredibly interesting mashup of cultures that happens on every street corner, on every subway platform, in every theater. So that's really, really interesting to me. The artists we work with, the Chinese artists who are coming here and are going to be performing tonight as part of this festival, their stories too, we feel, are part of what makes Brooklyn.
I'm Dira Rao, and I'm doing The Proof is in the Processor, which is an analog performance lecture, clown romp of information technology and how Google is changing our brains.
Welcome to The Proof is in the Processor analog survey of information. In other words, me.
And I think it's hilarious that I'm representing a certain demographic of even where we are. I think it's totally complicated, which is that Sunset Park is changing as all communities change. Things always change, things always evolve, things always grow. That's part of the nature of everything. You can't hold anything in its own one spot. As a human, as a body, as a time, all that.
Let's recap the entire history of information technology in less than a minute. We went from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, to the Iron Age, to the Enlightenment, to the Industrial Age, to the Information Age, and you are here.
The thing about New York that I love in general about New York is there is a unbelievable din of humanity and a diversity in every way, diversity in every aspect that you can, besides certain types of wildlife, that you cannot get anywhere else. And Brooklyn allows like a little different pace, but has the same din of diversity, and it completely affects my work and everything.
My name is Arelis Beato, and we're here to represent the Salsa Peace and the culture in the Beat Festival. I started a dance studio in 2001, and I've been part of the community since then. The changing landscape in Salsa Park, I think is a great thing. However, I just think it's taking a little bit away from the actual community sense of the entire Brooklyn aspect. Brooklyn is all about diversity as far as I'm concerned. Being that I grew up here in Park Slope and then in Sunset Park for most of my teen years and adult years, I just feel it's taking a little bit away from that community sense. It drives me to be a little different than the other dance companies, which is something that we've been doing for the last couple of years. It's made us a little more professional. It made us a little more focused on what we're doing. The change, I'm not really sure how it's gonna affect me yet, but I think it will take out a few of the Latin or the Hispanics that we have in the community. A lot of them are moving out of Brooklyn based on not being able to afford certain living conditions and so on. So I think it kind of changes that in that aspect, but it may open doors to other people to discover and learn about our culture.